had been trying to take a nap, but the boat really was shaking bad. Alright everybody, welcome back to some more Umineko, When They Cry. And I swear, I won't babble like last time at the start here, alright? We will get right into it. So, last time, we had the extreme, tragedy of Maria getting her Sakutaro taken from her, and the rabbit um, from Rosa. Rosa really went mayhem. Well, I mean, it started with Maria not being able to find the keys to her house, and she went to the police, told them a lot of info, and then Rosa, when she came back, she scolded Maria about all kinds of things. The police officer, well, the welfare, I should say, welfare officer, district welfare officer, came by her house to tell her stuff and all that, and to tell her to stop and to tell her to be a better parent or whatever. And if you can't, you can at least put her in a this children camp or whatever, so we can take care of her. But Rosa's like, no, don't tell me how to raise my child. And she goes over to Maria, you know, quote unquote kills off Sakutaro and stuff like that. And welfare officer can't, tries to stop it, but can't really do much because Rosa guesses the goat. She got the strength, woo! And yeah, it's just tragic and sad. So for especially for Maria does not deserve any of this. She did nothing wrong. Well, I mean, she did disobey her mother's orders, I guess. Yes, from that POV, I see what you mean. But you know, she was lonely. Okay, her mother left her for several days for vacation. Didn't even lie to her about it. Then she came back angry at her. I mean, it's just it's a tragedy all around. It was a very rough part emotionally for me. And now here with Angie, who has been nothing but emotional damage to me this entire episode. So let's see how it continues on. It seems like she's gonna go to the island directly in 1998. This is October 1998, and she seems like she's investigating the island directly. Let's see what kind of finds she finds, and yeah, let's keep it going. Right? Let's get right into it. I'm not gonna waste y'all's time. We're gonna get right into it. I gave up on sleeping and went up onto the deck. I was welcomed by the shining sun and a strong sea breeze. Oh, okay. Amakusa. Okay, so now we're back with Amakusa. Okay. Okay, so this is the latest we've seen of Angie, right? We've been jumping around at with Angie, right? We've been jumping back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. But this is after the hotel scene with Amakusa, where she summoned all the 7 stakes with Maria. This is after all that. So this is the most present Angie time we've been on by far. Okay, like so far, right? This is we're really in the present now. Okay. Up on the deck, Amakusa's doing some stretches. Let's go. He's gotta keep himself ready. He's gotta keep himself ready. You know what I mean? Like, if anyone attacks, he's over there. Dude, imagine if Amakusa was in the previous episodes. Was one of in the murders. Maybe he would have been able to stop him somehow. I don't know. I mean, if there's a human culprit, man, look at Amakusa, bro. I think he's got it. I think he's got it like that. I think he's a Chad. He's strong, right? He's doing some stretches. Probably has a lot of time on his hands too. It'll still take a while longer to reach Nijima. Okay, so they're going to Nijima first. Got it. That makes sense. And then from there they're gonna go to Rokkenjima. It would only have taken on the order of half an hour by airplane, but there was the chance that the Sumadero's net extended over Nijima Airport. There is a chance of that. The harbor would probably be the same. For that reason, I had obtained a boat that would let me land while avoiding the harbor with no questions asked. Well, great. That's an awesome boat you obtained. I don't know how you did that, but that's crazy. So, I bumped into a cherry boat captain, treated him with generosity, and he had decided to help me out. Amused. Okay. Isn't that a little suspicious, at least?
さっき船長に聞いたら、あと2時間はたっぷりかかるそうです。
Didn't they say in one of the previous episodes, I think episode 2 or something, that it's like 6 hours by boat to get to Rokkenjima if you're gonna use a boat to Nijima. So they've been on the boat for 4 hours already, haven't they? Right, but by plane it's just What did she say? 30 minutes? So
ま、贅沢は言えねえですな。
beggars can't be choosers.
いいお天気ね。焼けちゃいそう。
乾パンで読書ですか？本が傷みますよ。
You'll damage your book. Marcus apparently got that idea because I was clutching Mario Nechan's diary under my arm. I'd been reading it as I tried to fall asleep, which was why I had come back up still carrying it.
どうですか？マリアさんの日記から六軒島の真相は探れそうですかい？
さあ、あの島で何があったかなんてどこまで調べても仮説でしかない。メッセージボトルもお姉ちゃんの日記も魔女が闊歩するおとぎ話が記されているだけで何も真実を語らない。お手上げよ。
新島での関係者からの聞き込みに期待するしかないですな。
Looks like you're just going to have to bank on what you can get out of the relevant people in Nijima, okay?
リッチハンターどもが散々質問攻めにしてるでしょうから、きっと真事実なんて見つからないわよ。
そこまで期待してないのに半日も船旅をして新島に行こうなんて実に気まぐれなことです。
調べたっていう自己満足のための旅みたいなものよ。本気で12年前の真実が解き明かせるなんて私も甘えてるつもりはないわ。
その自己満足が終わったらどうするつもりで？
さあ、考えてないわ。新島に行って関係者に話を聞いて最後に六軒島に行って花でも捧げたら私の旅はおしまいね。
Several days had already passed since this journey began. Okay. After being told by Burnt Castle on the roof of that building. Oh, okay, so she still remembers that conversation. Human Angel still remembers that conversation. Okay. To search for the truth of 12 years ago, I left on a journey akin to trying to grasp a cloud. Yeah, good luck with that. At the time, I felt something mystical about it, and I remember feeling as if I might be able to grasp some kind of miracle at the end of this journey. But several days are enough to bring a person back down from that high. As I stood on the roof of that skyscraper that day, my heart had nowhere left to go. It was completely dead. Wanting from the bottom of my heart to be released from the cage of my body and rise into the sky, I crossed the fence in order to die. But she miraculously survived. Maybe experiencing the desire to die and actually stepping forwards, throwing my body down, caused some kind of mystical experience inside my head, making me think I had received a message from a witch. The more the excitement from jumping down lessened over time, and the more I came back to my senses, the more this journey lost its meaning. But I'd never considered suspending this journey just because of that. If I stopped this journey, it would mean acknowledging that the message from that witch was an illusion. And I felt as if that meant throwing away the promise the witch had made, and any chance that someone from my family might come back. Okay. So, I'm continuing this journey because I want to believe in that illusion. Right, so you're telling Amakusa a different story than what you actually think. Makes sense? You imagine you told him a witch story, that's crazy. I don't seriously believe that this journey will change anything. I'm even free to end it at any time. It's up to me to choose where the final destination is. In the end, this journey is only for my personal self-satisfaction. I guess you weren't lying all along, you just left out the whole part about witches and jumping off the skyscraper and all that. But you weren't lying.
自己満足か。聞こえは悪いですが、そいつが実は人生ってやつではないかと思ってます。
Yeah, it kinda is, yeah.
傭兵家業で視線をくぐった末に至った答えだったなら、なかなか味わい深いじゃない。
茶化さんでください。俺が言いたいのは、自己も何も自分を認められるのは世の中で自分だけしかいないってことです。
There's no self about it. In this world, the only one capable of satisfying you is yourself. So there is self about it. What are you saying? Amakusa continued stretching as he spoke, in an annoyingly eloquent way. Hearing it told me, uh, Hearing it told to me as though from a teacher made me instinctively want to resist, but what he was saying was extremely sensible.
そうかもね。人は誰かに認められたくて努力をするわ。多くの場合、それは親ね。親に褒められたくて子供は努力を覚える。だから私は覚えなかったわけだけど。
That's tragic.
すんません。そういうつもりで言ったんじゃないです。俺が言いたいのは、自己満足大いに結構ってことなんです。誰に褒められたって、それを納得できなきゃ意味がない。逆を返しゃ、誰に褒められなくったって、自分が納得できりゃそれでいいってことです。
It's true.
自己満足と向上心って矛盾するから、普通は悪いことって教えられるわよね。
I see.
天草の論法はなんだか新鮮よ。
誰かに認めてほしくて、だけれど何を努力すればいいのかわからないのが人の世の苦しみです。
And to satisfy someone, you want recognition, but you don't know where to put the effort.
俺にもそういう頃があった。誰かに認められたくて、でも何を認められればいいかわからなくて、そして何をどこまで努力すれば誰に認めてもらえるかわからなくて、随分と無茶苦茶をやってきたもんです。
Self-satisfaction, self-improvement. I think self-improvement is good, and self-satisfaction is good. I think you can combine the two. Yes, they're contradictory terms, but you can be self-satisfied over the fact that you've improved yourself, while still wanting to improve yourself more. That's how I see it.
それで天草が至った答えが自己満足だっていうの？
聞こえは悪いがそういうことです。我ただ足るを知るってやつですわ。俺がこれでいいと思った人生なら、それはとやかく言われてどうこうってもんじゃない。エンジさんの人生もこの旅も同じです。エンジさん以外の誰にもとやかく言う権利なんてない。
I see. Okay. Okay.
旅の意味と成果はエンジェさんだけが決める。エンジェさんにとって有意義な旅になったなら、それで十分なんですよ。
I find this discussion really interesting because it goes back to the whole discussion Angie had with Okonogi about self-truth. What you see as the truth is the truth. It doesn't matter what other people think. If what you see is what you think of something is the truth, then that's the truth. In your world, that's always going to be the truth. There is no objective truth because the objective truth is what you see as the objective truth. That may not necessarily be the actual objective truth. The objective truth may not even exist. But your truth is the objective truth because it's the truth you know about. Right? This is kind of as a similar discussion. It kind of mirrors back to that where it's as long as you're satisfied, it doesn't matter if other people are satisfied or disappointed with you. If you're satisfied about yourself, then then that means you are satisfied. It kind of I like that. I like how it's this part's really this episode in general has been really about focusing on yourself and what sort of what sort of person and what sort of thinking you want to have around yourself. It's been a very self-focused episode in general, if that makes sense. And even with Sakutaro, he's talking to Maria, going like, "Do I exist?" He's trying to, he doesn't know whether he really exists or whether he's just a stuffed toy. do I have a sense of self? That sort of thing, that sort of theme has been recurring in this episode of just, having a sense of self and who really am I? What sort of, what does the world mean from me, from my perspective? You know what I mean? And this episode's had that a lot. I find this interesting. I find that interesting. All right. So I guess it makes sense that we're seeing all of this from Angel's perspective.
あんたってちゃらけてる男だと思ってたけど、たまに変なこと言い出すのね。そういうこと、たまに言うとモテると思ってるでしょ。
I mean, it doesn't seem like anything he says will be a hit with you, Angie. I feel like Angie's the sort of woman that's impossible to please. It's like she's not bro. If you can solve the Rock and Joe murders, that's the only way you can be a hit with Angie. I'm convinced. Like whatever, bro. Amakusa's trying his best here, Angie. Give him some credit. Like nobody's telling you to date him or anything, but come on, give him some credit. Like do anything. She's really. I feel like Angie's just a really hard to please woman. Really hard to please. Holy crap. Alright.
まさかまさかそんなつもりで言ったんじゃありません。どうやらお一人になりたいようだ。俺は船長のところへ行っていますぜ。どうぞごゆっくり。
It seemed that Makusa had decided I was in a bad mood, although I didn't feel that way myself. Maybe he had just finished a set of stretches and wanted to cool off in the shade. The sea winds were strong, but not enough to take the edge off the rays of the sun. And Makusa disappeared. Only I remained.
自己満足こそが人生か。そんなのつまらないです。
Hello, Mamon. So you're still here, I see.
人生はどこまでも強欲でなくっちゃ。
Alright, so you're for self-improvement. Mamon is definitely on the self-improvement side. I can see that. I noticed that Mamon had suddenly appeared, her full hair streaming out in the wind by the prow of the ship.
強欲な人生は確かに楽しいわ。でも、あなたと違って人間には寿命がある。永遠に強欲のままだったなら、人は死ぬ最後の瞬間にも欲があることになる。欲があるということはつまり欲しいということ。持っていないということ、満たされていないということ。自分が満たされていると思えないまま死ぬのはきっと辛いことよ。だからきっと自己満足って必要なんだわ。なるほど。
なるほど。
寿命ある存在にはそういう妥協点も必要ってことですか。私たちの主はやたらと寿命の長いお方ばかりだったんで考えたこともなかったです。人間ってのは満たされるために生きてるのかしら。だとしたら無欲が一番人生に優しいことになる。
But at the same time, it's the least satisfactory way to live.
なるほど。7つの大罪の一つが強欲になるのも納得ね。
Yeah.
お褒めに預かり光栄です。
Or is it though? Can you be proud of achieving nothing? I mean, you can still be self-satisfied achieving nothing. You know what I mean? I have it so easy. Everyone else is struggling, but I have it so easy because I don't really want anything. Because I'm chilling. I'm self-satisfied. I'm self-satisfied at the fact that I have it easy in my life. You know what I mean? I'm self-satisfied at the fact that I didn't have to work as hard as everyone else because I don't really want anything. Can you have that sort of mindset? I guess you can. I guess you can. But for me, no, I can't be like that. I need. If I don't have a goal, then like I don't know. I can't just be aimless. It's the easiest way to be, but it's not the way I can be. I can't have fun like that. Having a goal, trying to go towards something. It's better than nothing. You know, it's better for me. It's better to go off. How to put it? Better to go away without while trying to achieve something, rather than to go away without even having tried to do anything. So, whatever. Apparently that counted as praise in Mammon's eyes. I guess it did. She turned and gave a graceful curtsy.
エンジ様、人間は死の瞬間に満足であるために生きてるんですか？
In some ways we kinda do.
死の瞬間に何かが満たされていないのはきっと辛いんじゃない？
だとしたら人間は満足な死を迎えるためだけに生きてるわけですね。
I don't know about only, but I think there's just a small part of it is that. Maybe a small part of it is that, yes. But I wouldn't say only.
より良い死のために生きてる。死ぬために生きてる。
They live to die. Whoa, that's a hell of a thing to say. But I guess it's not completely off. We live to die. We kinda do. We live so that we can die. You know what I mean? Like we don't fully live to live, do we? Because we know we're not gonna live. If we live to live, then we wouldn't live the way we did. We live while knowing that at the back of our heads that maybe not anytime soon, or could be sometime soon. That's the thing, we never know when we're gonna die. I could die tomorrow. But point is, we live thinking in the back of our head that this is going to end one day. And we know that is a very, very real possibility. We don't live thinking, oh, I'll live, I'm good, I don't have eternity on my time, you know what I mean? I'm good. So we kind of do live to die in a sense. But I like I said, not only. I wouldn't say only like Mammon did. Yes, I should have expected that from a demon steak. However, her words might be the truth. Humans suffer because they aren't whole, and live only to be made whole. That might be the same, in other words, as a desire to die while whole.
言い返せないわ。人は満たされるために生きてる。そして満たされたまま死にたいと願ってる。だからその満たされ方がわからないのはとても辛いことだわ。
どうやれば満たされるんです？人間の人生は。
Guess it depends. That's the thing. Some people have different standards. Like I said earlier, I guess for some people, their life being content is as simple as achieving nothing. Some people might actually just genuinely be like that. While others want to achieve world fame success. Oh, I don't know. I want to be the best football player in the world, for example. Some people are not content until they achieve a goal like that. But you can clearly tell the standards vary a lot from human to human.
認めてもらうことよ。お前は幸せだってね。
誰が認めてもいいものでしたら、私が認めてあげますよ。
そうよ、そこなのよ。誰に認めてもらえばいいのかわからないのよ、人は。
That's what Amakusa said as well.
その認めてくれる人を探すのが人生の旅なんですか。へえ。
So for the person to accept them is the journey of life. Is that why marriage is so important in basically every culture ever? You gotta marry that special person that accepts you. Hmm.
おかしな話ね。認めてもらおうと認めてもらわなかろうと自分の境遇に変化はないはず。にもかかわらず認められれば満たされ、認められないから満たされない。
But if an acceptance will change your circumstances. And yet if you find acceptance you'll be whole. And if you don't then you won't. Hmm.
まるで青い鳥だわ。
What's
カゴの中にもう青い鳥はいるのに、それに気づけないから どこまでも探しに旅立たなければならない。
何ですかそれ。人間の人生ってバカですね。
そうね、天草は本当にいいことを言ったわ。我ただ樽を知るか。
Which is the one who is content with what they are.
何のことわざか知らないけど味わい深いわ。
It is.
つまるところ、誰かに認めてもらわなければ満ち足りないとは、すなわち自らを認められないということ。究極の自己実現はまず自分を自分で認めることだったのよ。
そりゃそうです。自分が満ち足りてるって自覚できるなら誰にも認めてもらう必要なんかないですから。その小さなことに気づくだけで人間のくだらない人生の旅は簡単に終了ですね。残った時間を有意義に遊んで過ごせます。人間の人生ってバカバカしい。
Mamon's choice of words is bad, but it was surely the truth. If most of a human's life is a journey wishing for someone's acceptance so that they can achieve a satisfied death. And the moment they realize that the person to accept them is not someone else, but them themselves, they can end up a pointless journey. Humans who have finished that journey can probably spend the rest of their lives as they wish with their heads held high. How sublime, how praiseworthy would that be?
天草ってさ、親とはかなり仲が悪いらしいのよ。
He is?
そりゃそうよね。まっとうな親なら足を洗わせたいと願うような商売だもの。
別にいいんじゃない？本人が楽しいなら。
Doesn't matter if, as long as he's self-satisfied, he doesn't need the satisfaction, the acceptance from his parents. Is that what you're gonna say? What you meant, Mamon?
全くよね。結局はそういうことなのよ。他人が観測した自分の評価なんかどうでもいいこと。
Because if you believe that you're worthy from your own eyes, then you don't need other people's worth.
自分の存在を自分自身がしっかり認められたなら、それで十分なのよ。
Interesting mindset, that is.
自分に自信を持って生きられるなら、どんな生活だって受け入れて納得できるに違いない。天草はきっといつか戦場で流れ弾を食らって大怪我をするでしょうよ。あるいは死ぬことさえあるかもしれない。でも天草はそれを理不尽とは思わないと思う。それも人生。あいつはケラケラ笑ってるような気がするの。
いい生き様じゃない。惚れるわ。
自分で自分を認められない哀れな人間は生涯それを求めてさまよい、何も受け入れられず不平不満だけを口にし、満たされないまま死んでいく。哀れだわ。何の目的もなくダラダラと生きてる連中に比べたら、やがてのたれ死にするかもしれないけれど、自分の人生に胸を張っている天草の方がよっぽど高潔なのよ。
人生悟ったものの勝ちってことじゃない？少しでも早く悟れればその分有効に残りの人生が過ごせてお得よね。
Illuminati? Just get enlightened? That's all you need? At those words of Mamon's, I finally came to terms with a certain fact. I had described her as an abnormal kid, a little strange. However, that wasn't the case. She had simply finished that journey faster than anyone else, and taught herself to keep her own chin up and live with confidence.
だからマリアお姉ちゃんはすごかったのかもしれない。彼女は小学校低学年になるかならないかという年齢のうちにそれに至ったのよ。
Other people like us, looking at her life from the outside, couldn't call it happy by any standard. But even though such days were engraved in her diary, the entries always finished up by saying it was a happy day. Even though you can catch glimpses of her mother's lack of love for her, in spite of that, she believed that her mother did love her. The mother's love that didn't exist, she created herself, filling her world with love. Others observed her as an unfulfilled, pitiful girl, but she told herself that she was fulfilled and accepted herself how she was. And so she was happy that way. It's easy to observe that as something pitiable and sad, but to her, that was an outsider's opinion, and didn't matter in the slightest. Exactly, because she was content with herself, so she didn't need someone else's opinion on on what's happy for her or not. Just like what Maman was saying. The only important thing was whether or not this was happiness to her. Yeah. It's just like how when people who live in the city point to the lifestyles of those in the country and lament the inconvenience and feel sympathy for them, it's really just misplaced kindness. It kinda is. If those who live there are satisfied with what they are, that's more than enough.
私ようやく気づいたわ。今気づいた。マリアお姉ちゃんにひどいことをしたのよ。あの日にあなたたちにも作太郎にも。
On the day you got bullied?
魔法があるかないか、それを決めるのは他人じゃないわ。自分よ。マリアお姉ちゃんにとって魔法があるかないかはマリアお姉ちゃんが決めるべき問題で、私が決めることじゃない。なのに私は幼いあの日口にしてしまった。魔法なんてあるわけないって。彼女を傷つけてしまった。
To me, magic doesn't exist. But that's my world. Denying Onechan's world as well just because of that was totally barking up the wrong tree.
マリアージュ・ソルシエルはマリアお姉ちゃんの作った魔女同盟。私はそれに誘われて一緒に魔女になろうと言われたの。新しい面白い遊びだと思って私はしばらくの間それに付き合ったわ。でも幼さゆえの残酷さ、途中で飽きてしまった。そして鋭利な言葉で彼女の純粋無垢な心を切り裂いてしまったの。あの時大喧嘩をしたはず。私はすぐに忘れてしまったけれど、彼女には忘れられないものだった。なぜなら彼女にとって魔法は確かに存在する自然な力で、それは私とも共有できると信じていたから。マリアお姉ちゃんにとって魔法は世界を幸福に解釈できる、いえ全てを幸福にできる、まさに魔法の力だった。それを私にもお裾分けしたかっただけ。
She's crying now too, or at least her sprite is showing tears.
その気持ちを幼い私が引き裂いた。だから彼女は誰とも魔法は分かり合えないと殻の中に閉じこもってしまったのよ。
幼い。
だとしたらマリア卿もやはり人生の旅は終わってないわけね。自分に納得できてるなら園児様に否定されたくらいでへこむ必要なんてないわけだし。
But your life journey wasn't over after all. You're right. You're right. But then, think about it, Mamon. Remember what Sakutaro said? Maria, this doesn't change anything. Yes, you know, it's fine if Angie leaves our group of friends, but we're still here happy together, right? You still have me and the band of friends. You don't need Angie. That's what Sakutaro was saying.
お姉ちゃんは幼かった。天草みたいな達観にはまだ至ってなかったのよ。はあ、だからこそわかるわ。マリアージュ・ソルシエルという魔女同盟がなぜ必要なのか。
An alliance where each accepts that the other is a witch.
そうよ。それが確かマリアージュ・ソルシエルの取り決めの第一条だった気がする。同盟の魔女は互いを魔女と認め尊敬し合うことって、それこそが魔女同盟の一番の、そして唯一の意味なのよ。
Mario Nechan wanted to share with me the secret laws for making the world happy, called magic. But I was young, and she was too. I hurt her with innocent cruelty.
私はあの日に言ったわ、暴言を。あなたたちや作太郎に存在するわけがないって。
失礼しちゃうわ。私たちが存在するって自らを認めてる。魂が寝ぼけてる人間どもとはわけが違うのよ。我を思うゆえに我あり。
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I was wondering when someone's gonna say that quote. I was wondering when someone's gonna say, I think therefore I am. That's like a huge quote. I think therefore I am. So you're saying that quote makes us half asleep? Because when we stop thinking, we're not being anymore? Actually, this theme was brought up in episode 3 as well, though. About how Virgilia, oh my god, Virgilia. About how, you know, when you stop thinking, you're not human anymore. You know, the things humans have is that they think. They keep thinking and thinking and thinking. And that's honestly one of the beauties of humanity, is that we think and think and think. And look at the technology we've built up over thousands and thousands of years. We built some great technology because we think and keep thinking. Because that's kind of our being, is that we think. That's why we're kind of above, the rest of the other species in this at least on Earth at the very least. Is that we have that ability to think, right? We may not be the physically strongest of the animals, but we are capable of that thought that lets us upgrade, I guess, which other animals are not capable of. I think, therefore I am. That is another very deep quote that was said by Descartes. How do you pronounce his name? It's written Descartes, but that's not how you pronounce it, because I think it's Spanish or something, or something like that. I think it was by Descartes. Whatever. I think, therefore I am. I'm gonna Google his name. Descartes. Wait. He's French. Sorry, I said he was. What did I say he was? I said he was Spanish. My bad. It's French. Sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. René Descartes. Descartes. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Like I said, I'm not French. I think you guys should know this. But yeah, he's the famous guy in the Renaissance, I think. Renaissance. I think, therefore I am. Great. That's a very deep quote. Cogito ergo sum. Great quote. Alright, anyway, let's keep going here.
魔法を認めようと否定しようと、私たち煉獄の七姉妹という魔法が存在することは故に事実。エンジ様の言葉を借りるなら、私たちが自らをそう認めている限り。
I mean, let's see, would they accept or deny? Well, I mean, it's a fact from your POV, right? Would they accept or deny magic? The fact of your existence is a fact to you.
それを他者である私が否定するのはまさに暴力だわ。それはきっと実の母にお前なんか生まれてこなければよかったと、いいえ消えてしまえと怒鳴りつけられるくらいにね。
But then again, if you're self-satisfied, you know, do you need anyone else's acceptance or satisfaction? Yes, even your own true mother. There are people in real life who live very happy lives and they're very content with themselves, even when their true mother has casted them out and told them that they hate them and that I regret giving birth to you and stuff like that. There are people who still are very content with their lives despite all of that. Still violent. Even after being slammed by all those words, Maria Onechan's magic made her believe in her mother's love. That one's crazy, yeah. Sakutaro, her magic friend, always encouraged her. He kept saying that her mother loved her, that she was coming home late because of her work, and that she would definitely bring back a present. Even after Maria learned the fact that it really wasn't because of work, magic still kept her believing that. So by believing that her mother loved her, by accepting herself, she filled her world with love and peace and serenity, and established it perfectly.
12年前に何があったのか、私の家族がどうなったのか、それを探る旅じゃなかったのよ、これは。
ならこの旅は何なの？
A journey for self-satisfaction. She said it earlier.
マリアお姉ちゃんにあの日のことを謝る旅だったのよ。
It's for self-satisfaction, so you can be satisfied that you were able to apologize to her.
どうしてかわからないけど、そう思うの。あの日、彼女を傷つけなければ、12年前の事件は起こらなかったんじゃないかって、そう思うの。
You think you had a part to play in it, Angie? I have no basis for it. I don't have a clue how hurting One-chan would be connected to that mysterious incident several years later. But for some reason, I can't imagine that there is no connection. A witch caused that incident, and the culprit is a golden witch, Beatrice. And Beatrice was part of the Mariage Sorcière alliance of witches. I'd horribly hurt the other witch of that alliance. I'd hurt her by saying that magic doesn't exist. And that's why, several years later, an inexplicable crime by a witch occurred, and that 2-day period which can't be explained with anything but magic was thrust in my face via a message bottle.
きっと私は無関係じゃないのよ。わからない。偶然かもしれないし、運命かもしれない。なぜかこの旅で私はそう思うようになったわ。
根拠は？
ないわ。
None. She already said she had no basis.
勝手にそう思ってるだけ。
日本人って面白いわね。被害者であっても自分に非があったように感じて勝手に謝り出す。
Japanese, huh?
家族を奪ったベアトリーチ様憎しって言うなら、理解も勝手に非を感じて謝りたくなってくるなんて本当に変わってるわ。
もちろんベアトリーチェは憎いわよ。
Don't worry, I'm with you there, Angie. I'm with you there.
その気持ちがなければこの旅は続かないわ。でも旅にもう一つ目的を見出してもいい。12年前の魔女に復讐する旅に、さらに昔の罪を謝罪する目的を加えたっていいんだわ。六軒島に行ってあの日の暴言を詫び、花を手向けることくらいはできる。いえ、花よりもっといいものがあるわ。そしてその方がお姉ちゃんにはふさわしいと思う。
Stuffed animals? I stood up and, ignoring my hair being blown out by the sea breeze, I concentrated my mind. I lifted my palms up to the height of my head and imagined a vast space. What?
エンジ様？
静かに。
Quiet! Damn it, wrong button. No. Here we go.
さあさあ、おいでなさい。
Oh, it's her turn to say Sasa.
我こそは魔女見習い、エンジ・ベアトリーチェ。破門にされてはしまったけれど、かつて同じ同盟に所属し、私と遊んでくれた懐かしき家具よ。我が呼びかけに応じよ。
Sakutaro? No, but Sakutaro's dead. But no, even when Sakutaro's dead, she was still able to call him out. Remember? With Angel and Mario when they were in the sky. And even when she summoned the seven stakes. So she was still able to summon Sakutaro. Despite Sakutaro being dead and Beato saying she can't summon Sakutaro again. I don't know how that works. Dearly Miss Furniture who played with me. If not Sakutaro, the seven stakes? No. It wouldn't be Ronove. It wouldn't be Vergilia. Because it's furniture. But it wouldn't be Ronove. Sakutaro the seven stakes, I guess? It was hard to tell in the middle of the day, but a faint blue light gathered around the palms of my hands. Then, I revived Sakutaro's form. So it is Sakutaro. Okay, I was right about that. Yeah, how does that work since Sakutaro's dead? But this is the third time she's revived Sakutaro's form. How does that even work? Is it the diary? I don't know. Her magic does that? I don't know. Because Beato said she can summon him again or whatever. Well, she can revive him. But look, now it's saying it right here in the text. I revived Sakutaro's form. How does that work? It truly was long missed, that figure. His cute ears, his bright red scarf. It came off easily, so One-chan faithfully rewrapped it all the time, didn't she?
サクタロ、わかる？私たちがわかる？
Uryu!
おりょ
Uryu?
おりょマモンエンジェ
Hello, Sakutaro. With a sleepy face, as though waking up from a long slumber, Sakutaro looked all around him as he spoke.
お久しぶりね、サクタロ。あなたを私の力で呼び出すのはきっとこれが初めてだわ。そして今や私にしか呼び出せない。
Okay.
ウリュウ
Uryu. Those words might have been a bit cruel. Sakutaro's face clouded over.
かつての私はあなたを否定した。その私があなたを呼び出したということは、あなたの存在を私が認めたということ。
いいの？僕はエンジェの世界に呼び出されてもいいの？
His eyes were slightly frightened. It was only natural. I, who had played with him like a friend before, had one day suddenly denied him and tried to burn him with the anti-magic toxin. It was only natural that he was scared.
謝るわ。
I apologize.
あの日のこと、マモンにも、そしてみんなにも。
At some point, the rest of the seven sisters had gathered on the deck. Seven sisters! Pull up! Pose! Let's pose! Hiya! I mean, Lucifer's the one doing most of the posing. The rest are just standing there. She's the one doing the JoJo pose. Alright. Let's see. Let's check out Sakutaro's character file. Because I did hear a little vroom vroom. There he is. He's under Angie. Mario Nechan's precious friend. Very simple, warm and kind. His speech quirky. Uryu! I remember Mario Nechan used to say it a lot too. No, she used to say ooh a lot, not Uryu. But I don't know. Maybe that's how he carried over to Sakutaro as well. Already read that. I think I've already read about all this. Yeah, okay. I've read about Amakusas already. Yep. I think I've read about all of them already. We have suspicion. I've read about all of them already. Wait, Matt Basket 12 Angel Holds? Oh, right, okay. Okay. Nothing on the witch side? Yep, same thing all over. Oh. Oh, I guess we can read this as well, because he's dead now. Lady Maria's pure white heart, torn asunder. His broken vessel can only be regenerated by Rosa, the Meister who made him. Why is Rosa now being written in katakana? That's fair. Interesting. Broken vessel. However, Rosa disposed of all the vessel's scraps and even lost the sewing pattern. On top of this, because his existence was denied by the Meister herself, resurrecting him is impossible. With the Meister's death in 1986, his resurrection was lost forever. Resurrecting him is impossible even for the endless witch Beatrice. But, while he can't be resurrected, he can be summoned by Angie, I guess? Again, how does that work? How can Angie do that? She understands witches and denies them. This contradicts power along with not to slay witches. Okay. After understanding witches, still never will once slay a witch. Okay. No, they're there at all times. Always by my side. As long as I accept that it's okay for them to be there, they will appear anytime.
あなたたちは確かに存在するわ。ルシファーもレビアタンもサタンもベルフェゴールもマモンもベルゼブブもアスモデウスもそしてサクタロウも。
よろしいのですか？エンジェ様はベアトリーチェ様に挑もうというお方、魔女を否定される立場にあられるお方が我らを認めてもよろしいのですか？
私の世界にとって魔法が存在するかどうかは悪いけど保留させてもらうわ。私自身が魔法の存在を認めたわけじゃない。
You have a contradictory power then, Angie. You understand witches, but you deny them.
なのに我らを認めるという矛盾はどういうことです？
It is a contradiction.
魔法は信じる人には存在するってことよ。私が信じなくても。
I see. It's a contradictory power. All the people believe in magic, so she accepts your existence within other people, but she herself doesn't accept it. It is a contradictory power, but it's a very interesting power.
誰かが信じたなら、その人の世界には魔法が存在するわ。それは私が魔法を信じたって信じなくたって何の干渉も受けない。いいえ、受けてはいけないのよ。その誰かは胸を張って自らの魔法を信じればいいのよ。そして私はそれを認める。だからあなたたちが存在しても全然おかしくはないのよ。
なかなかの詭弁ですが、面白い解釈かと。エンジェ様のそれは悪魔の証明そのものでしょう。
It is indeed.
悪魔の証明？
It is.
だって悪魔の存在を証明するには悪魔を連れてくればいいけれど、悪魔の存在を否定することだけは不可能だから。
そして私たちはここにいる。つまりそれはエンジェ様が魔法を信じようと信じまいと私たちの存在は揺るがないということ。
無流？エンジから半魔法の毒が消えていく。
Disappearing from Angie. I will say though, while Angie can afford to think like this, Battler can't. And since I'm Battler, I can't afford to think like this either. Because accepting witches, even through another person's world accepting it, I'll still lose against Beato, right? Because I'll still indirectly accept their existence. No, I won't. Okay. I won't accept their existence. I'll still deny their existence. But I'll accept that someone else accepts their existence. How will Battler handle something like that? Right? Won't that still mean a loss for Battler if he does something like that? If he thinks like Angie does? Angie's not Beato's direct opponent, so she can do this.
本当だわ。 魔法を否定する立場なのにどうして。
それは多分尊重し認めるという心を知ったからだわ。今の私にならマリアオネ、そしてベアトリーチェの魔法の深淵も理解できるかもしれない。
In the past, I insisted that I didn't believe in things like magic, that something like that couldn't exist. I acted like I had my eyes tightly shut and couldn't see anything. But now I'm different. I get the feeling that I can look right at the thing called magic and close in on its true nature.
惜しいわ。この現代にこれだけ半魔法の毒素の抜けた人間なんて本当に稀よ。魔女に向いた稀有な才能なのに。そうね、今のエンジェ様が魔女を目指してくださったならベアトリーチェ様に及ぶかもしれない大魔女に成長されたかもしれないのに。
それでも我らの存在を認めてくださった我らの主である。おそらくエンジェ様が我らの最後の主となるだろう。最後の奉公と思い尽力しようではないか。
なのにエンジ様自身がまだ魔法を信じてくれないのが納得いかない。
I'm surprised you didn't say you were hungry, Beelzebub. I really expected you to say, I'm hungry!
エンジ様、ついでに魔法も認めてくださいよ。せっかくの主なのに魔女じゃないなんてなんだかもったいない。
足りない。
最高の魔女になれる逸材なのにその目的が魔女を撃つことだなんて。
惜しいです。
まあそれもエンジ様の人生で生き方でそうと決めた世界ならばそれは私たちにとやかく口出しできることではないわけですが。
私を理解してくれてありがとう。
Mammon is goated.
そうね、魔法が私にとって存在するかどうか、それは私が決めることだわ。世界のどこかに魔法が実在したとしてもしなかったとしてもね。
When I think about it, the world is so vast and yet so small. Billions of people live on the earth, but I probably won't meet even 1% of those people. Let's see, 1% of what? How many people are we now? Are we like 7.7 billion, let's say? So, I mean, if you take 1% of that, we get what? Let's see, let's say we're 7.7 billion. That would be 77 million, right? Yes, you won't meet even close to 1% of that. You won't meet even. I mean, yeah, you won't even see 1% of that. You won't even see that many people. 77 million people is a lot of people. Yes, I mean, let alone. You will definitely not make eye contact with 77 million people in your life. Let's say meeting people is the same as making eye contact with them, because I mean, actually talking to 77 million people is extremely unrealistic. Let's go with making eye contact. Do you think you can make eye contact with 77 million people in the world? That's rough, buddy. I don't think you can. I think you'd be underestimating how much 77 million people truly are if you think you can do that. I think at best, I think like you could do 1 million. I don't think you could do 77 million. I think you could get to 1 million though. I do. I think. I don't think I've reached 1 million eye contacts myself, but definitely I'm in the thousands. Obviously, I mean everyone is in the thousands, but I don't know. It's hard to say because I don't know how much eye contact I make with strangers on a day-to-day basis. It's hard to say. There's also pictures and stuff, But that doesn't really count as meeting people. I don't know. I'm in the thousands, but I definitely have not reached a million if you go based on eye contact in real life. And I don't know. Ah, whatever. Let's keep reading. We get her point. Even so, I will speak of the world. Without knowing even 1% of the world, I will speak of my world.
私が知らない世界の法則を私に否定する資格なんてない。だから私の世界に魔法が存在しないからといって私の知らない世界に魔法が存在することまでを否定することはできない。まさに悪魔の証明というわけだわ。いえ、業に入りては業に従えというべきかしら。
I can be confident in the world I know. So even if my world is denied by a complete stranger who doesn't know a thing about it, that's nothing to worry about. And in the same way, just because I don't know another world, that doesn't make me qualified to deny it.
だから私は自分の世界に魔法があるかないかを問わずにマリアお姉ちゃんが教えてくれた魔法を否定することなんてできやしない。
無理だって見たことがなくても魔法は存在するんだもん。
ええ、だからすでに言っている通り魔女同盟マリアージュ・ソルシエルの友人であるあなたたちの存在もまた私にもそして誰にも否定することなんてできないわけ。
I proclaim the most important part again. Even though the sea breeze and the crashing of the waves were noisy, it was a time of silence. But both Sakutori and the Seven Sisters of Purgatory reflected upon my words. And probably I did too. Does magic exist or not? Do witches exist or not? I reflected on the fact that, while ignoring what the answer was within my world, I declared openly that I would accept their existence, despite it being a contradiction.
ありがとうエンジェ。
そこまでお認めになったなら魔女もお認めになって。いえ、愚問でした。その問いに対する答えをすでにエンジェ様は明確にお持ちだ。
ごめんね。魔女がこの世界のどこかにいるかもしれないことを私は認めるけれど、でも私の世界は揺るがない。
魔女も魔法も認めない。六軒島の真実は必ず暴いてみせるでしょ。
ええ、それが私の世界よ。仮に本当に魔女が存在したとしても私の世界では認めないわ。当の魔女にどれだけ言い寄られたとしてもね。
エンジェ様のお立場は魔女を撃つこと、そしてそのお気持ちにいささかの揺らぎもないこと、よくわかりました。我らはエンジェ様の家具煉獄の七姉妹、いつでもおそばに。お役に立てる日が来るのをいつまでもお待ち申し上げております。
The name Gretel now really fits Angie more than ever, because she's the one that wants to slay witches. Battler just wants to deny witches and prove that things can be done without witches. Gretel, Angie, she wants to slay witches. She doesn't want to take them down. But Battler, he has to take the stance that slaying witches doesn't make sense because witches don't exist. That's the stance Battler needs to hold. Angie never slayed anything because there's nothing to slay. Witches don't exist. But Angie can think of them as existing while also trying to slay them. That's why the name Gretel really works for Angie. Even though I really hate that I have to call her Gretel whenever she's in that other dimension. But we move. It's very, very... It's very nice how that all knits together and works together and all works out.
エンジ様が魔法を信じてくれない以上話し相手くらいにしかなれないけれど、今は十分よ。私たちに存在できる余地を残してくださった。それだけで私たちはエンジェ様に感謝し
認めるべきだわ。
つまり私たちはまたみんなといられるんだね。うりゅー、サク太郎、モフモフさせて。
As Sakutaro was overcome with emotion and tears came to his eyes, the seven sisters closed in and mobbed him. They were also celebrating a long-awaited reunion. Hell yeah! Because they were granted permission to exist, they can exist here without doubt. No, they can exist even if I don't permit it. Because I accepted them. They showed their reunion's joy to me as well. As I watched over that scene, I reflected on the meaning of this journey of mine.
これでみんなには許してもらえたかしら。
十分ですよ。私たちは家具、呼び出してもらえるだけで、おそばにいることを許されるだけで嬉しいのですから。
ウリュウ、エンジェ、本当にありがとう。
そういえばどうして私には作太郎が呼び出せたのかしら。
Fantastic question. That's something I've been asking for a while now.
いいえ、逆ね。どうしてお姉ちゃんには作太郎が呼び出せなかったのかしら。
Mario-chan had despaired, thinking that Sakutaro had died, which told me that she hadn't been able to summon him like this anymore. In the past, One-chan said it was more advantageous in a summoning to have a vessel. However, a vessel is like training wheels, and it shouldn't be absolutely necessary. In other words, even if the stuffed animal lion that was Sakutaro's vessel didn't exist, it should have been possible to summon him. In fact, for that matter, it's a little doubtful whether some beings even have the concept of life and death. Moreover, Sakutaro was an especially important friend to Mario-chan. She should have been able to strive hard to summon him one more time. It certainly was sad that the original stuffed animal vessel had been torn apart. But why was he dead? And why couldn't she summon him again? Again, they say that apparently because Rosa denied him, Rosa's his mother, that he can't exist. And because Rosa denies him, he can't exist. But I mean, maybe Buddy hadn't reached the same philosophical viewpoint as you do right now, Angie, where Maria didn't think the way you did, where just because Rosa thinks that Sakutaro doesn't exist, doesn't mean that Maria herself has to give up on thinking that he doesn't exist. Because Maria loves Rosa so much and believes in her love, she also believed that Rosa denying Sakutaro would mean that she also would have to deny Sakutaro until Rosa was convinced again. And so maybe that's why you're able to call on Sakutaro again, because Maria was able to believe that he exists, and you're able to call on him again even though you yourself don't believe he exists. Maybe there's some logic like that going on?
それはマリアがあの時僕のぬいぐるみが破れたのを見て、僕が死んでしまったと決めてしまったから。
Yeah. Right, she decided that Rosa denying Sakutaro means that she would also have to deny Sakutaro, something like that.
魔法の存在と同じなんです。マリア教の世界でサク太郎が死んでしまったことになったのは、
Exactly.
彼女の世界ではサク太郎は存在できない。
Yeah.
ウリュウ、
The shock of having her beloved stuffed animal torn apart had left a wound in her heart serious enough to prevent her from ever again summoning her irreplaceable close friend. In Mario-chan's eyes, Sakutaro had died. So even if Sakutaro could exist like this to me, he could not exist before her.
僕はいつもマリアと一緒にいたんだよ。泣いてるマリアのすぐ近くで、泣かないでってずっと言ってたんだよ。でもマリアには僕の姿も声も何も届かなくて。
Sakutaro hung his head, looking sad. So what's with Kinzo not being able to see Beato in episode 2, was it? Kinzo was not able to see Beato. Kinzo called out to Beato, and Beato's right behind him saying, I'm right behind you, baka. I can't believe you don't see me, idiot human. What is that about? Is that connected to all this as well? In that Kinzo didn't believe Beato really existed? But he wanted her to exist. But Maria, to be fair, also did want Sakutaro to exist. But I guess in Kinzo's world, just like in Maria's world, Sakutaro didn't exist. Maria decided that Sakutaro died. Similarly, Kinzo decided that maybe Beato died when she fell off that cliff. Maybe in Kinzo's world, he decided that Beato was gone, so he couldn't see Beato anymore. I don't really know. Could be just a theory, but we know that for sure. And you know, Sakutaro is saying here that he called out to Maria, but Maria didn't hear him or see him. Similar thing we saw with Beato in episode 2. Kinzo could not hear her or see her, even though Beato was like, hey, oh, I'm right here.
マリアージュ・ソルシエルはあの事件の後急に性格を変えていくの。それまでの同盟は和やかなものだった。でも事件後は憎い誰かをいかにして呪うかという物騒なものばかり。お姉ちゃんの日記はあからさまに様変わりしていくの。
A diary is a mirror that reflects one's heart as it is. It probably showed the personality called Maria die, and be reborn as the evil witch personality Maria. As she filled the diary with hatred and sadness, her heart surely was not fulfilled. But because she wasn't fulfilled, she had no choice but to fill it with hatred and sadness. And while still unfulfilled, she met with death. I wonder if her unfulfilled soul has a hole opened in its chest from sadness even now, and continually wanders, tears dripping down and calling Sakutaro's name.
あなたがお姉ちゃんには必要なのよ。
ウリュウ。
どうしたらあなたをマリアお姉ちゃんの世界で蘇らせられるの？その方法がわかれば、私はお姉ちゃんを救うことができる。それが私に課せられた贖罪の方法なのよ。どうすればサク太郎は蘇るの？
マリアにとって僕のよりしろは特に重要な意味を持ってたから。
よりしろ、つまりライオンのぬいぐるみを蘇らせることができれば。
Good luck finding that.
でも僕のぬいぐるみはローザママの手作りだからローザママにしか作れない。
Even inside the diary, Maria One-chan had asked this of Beatrice and had been refused for the same reason. The magical significance of a stuffed animal being unique and handmade is very large. Then, if you could make the same thing once more. But Aunt Rose is already gone from this world. You can never make the same thing again.
同じぬいぐるみをもう一つ作ってあったとか、そういうことはないの？
彼はマリア教の誕生日プレゼントのために作られた世界でたった一つのぬいぐるみ、手作りでたった一つのよりしろなんです。だから大きな魔力を秘めているんです。そして失われたらもう二度と手に入らない、蘇らない。
ウリュウ。
Maria One-chan knew that, so when she saw that stuffed animal, unique in the world, be torn apart, she despaired. Because it was a stuffed animal unique in the world, and permitted her no compromises such as simply buying another, she despaired from the bottom of her heart.
でもサク太郎はここにいるわ。よりしろなんかなくてもここにいる。私がそれを認めているから、私の世界では確かに存在する。マリアお姉ちゃんが認めなくてもそれは否定できない。そうよね。
Right?
理屈ではそうですが、同じ理屈でマリア教にそれを認めさせることもまた困難かと思います。
マリア、僕は死んでないよ。ここにいるのに。 ウリュウ。
きっと六軒島でマリアお姉ちゃんに私は再会できると思う。そして私は何が何でもお姉ちゃんの中のあなたを蘇らせて再会させるわ。
できるの？
難しいでしょうね。魔女同盟に誘われた私が意味を理解できず拒絶してしまったのと同じように、彼女もまたあなたの存在を拒絶するかもしれない。でもやるしかないわ。それが私にできる唯一の罪滅ぼしなのよ。
やるしかないの。
エンジ様。
六軒島で何が待つのか、そして何が起こるのか、何ができるのか、あるいは何も起こらないのかもしれないけれど、全ての始まりであるあの島こそがこの旅の終着点なのよ。私はあなたたちを連れて魔女の家具であるあなたたちの主として魔女の島へ、六軒島へ帰らなければならない。
Even though the rays of the sun had been so strong, at some point clouds had started to hang over us. The spray hitting my cheek might not all be coming from the crashing waves.
エンジェさん、軽く一雨来そうですぜ。下へ降りた方がいいんじゃないですか？
I think that's where I'm gonna end it. I think we've read plenty now. Yeah, it was a good part of Minako and They Cry. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We were on pretty long there. And we did some solid progress. Think, I was reading. I've been reading longer than I thought I've been. So, yeah. Last part and this part, I think a bit longer part than usual. But I hope you guys do enjoy this. And I'll see you guys next time for some more Umineko When They Cry. Yeah. Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. All right, y'all. Peace.